I don't really have a tolerance level when it comes to death and forensics and pathology. Nothing really phases me. Whether that's a good or bad thing, I don't know. But it does mean that when I was watching Forensics, The Real CSI, I was completely in my element. So Forensics, The Real CSI is a 3-part BBC documentary. At the time of recording, it is still on BBC iPlayer, so you can go and check it out. And we have 3 different case studies here set in the northeast of England, which is, I know I spent a lot of time in my childhood and my university days in the northeast of England. Obvious pull factor for me there. Following various crimes that take place and Northumbria Police and how they deal with it. This is produced by Blast Films. They've got a great catalogue of things. They've done Super Vet, they've done 999 Watch Your Emergency, and loads of other stuff. And their production quality is completely in this. It is such a fantastic 3-part series. We have shots of the crimes themselves, which I'll talk about more in a moment, and then it cuts to discussions with professionals and also some words from some of the family members as well and how the crime has affected them. So there's a great mix of things going on there. So I do have to say, there is a massive graphic warning attached to this documentary. It is not for the faint-hearted. If you've got no knowledge of forensics or pathology, you may find this upsetting and unsettling, but for me I thought it was like better than Disneyland. So there are various crimes committed in Newcastle and Sunderland. There's shooting, there's rape, there's a suspicious death, and it follows partly trying to catch who did it and the process there with police interviews, and also partly how to identify the cause of death and the process that follows from when they discover the body and kind of what happens at that stage as well, which for me was very fascinating. I won't spoil it, but there was an extreme close-up of a dead person's foot. Obviously, on a serious note, that is a real person who has lost their life, and that's obviously very, very, very emotional and very upsetting, and you do feel with some of these cases that there are real people behind them, which of course is the case, and it's because it's so fantastically done, it doesn't feel real. Because it feels so mesmerising that you forget that this is real life. And when you remember that it's real life, it kind of, it shocks you, it pulls you back to reality really quickly with such force. And it makes you question the state of the world. So for me, my favourite thing about this, apart from the close-up of the foot, was the level of detail that they went into. There's a great lot of information about blood pattern analysis, which is one of my favourite areas of forensics to study, and kind of a lot of details about pathology, and we get to hear a lot from professionals. Catherine Bolam was my favourite. She's one of the crime scene managers. She's so knowledgeable. She's really fascinating to listen to. She explains things really well, but not in complete layman's terms, which I thought was really great. She really made things understandable, and I thought she was incredible. So the question on my lips is, who is the Forensics, The Real CSI series for? It's definitely for anybody like me who is a little bit unhealthily obsessed with that kind of thing. If you've never seen any crime documentary or crime drama even, I think it would be a little bit too heavy going. You have to at least know that you have a stomach for this. I feel like the first episode, which was mainly about the shooting, was fairly easy to watch. It wasn't that graphic. We have some, 999 audio and things, but it's not too graphic. The second episode, very detailed. The third episode was more of an emotional journey rather than physical fascination. So each one kind of had a different feel to it and explored a different area. So if you're fascinated by this, I think you'll definitely get a lot out of it. Needless to say, I'm kind of gushing a little bit with how much I absolutely love this, and the only thing that I hated is that it's only a 3-part series, and it's narrated by Siobhan Finneran. Absolutely brilliant, love her to bits. Just a little kind of the icing on the cake there. I hope that they will do another one of these series, because it feels like it's kind of like the missing link in my love of crime dramas. I need it. Obviously, on a serious note, it is awful that these crimes do take place, but if they're going to happen, it's good that we can be educated about it and we can learn more about what happens afterwards, and maybe we can learn a little bit about prevention as well. Definitely, if you can check it out on iPlayer and you feel like you've got a stomach for this, it's one of the best shows I've ever seen, and I just hope that they do another thing like this, if not the exact same thing, then something very similar, because Forensics, The Real CSI is perfect.